Good morning. It's somewhere between 5:30 and 6, and this is the last week of 4 months of writing my novel. There's nothing glamorous about getting up this early in the morning. I have to be quiet so as not to wake my wife. I'm not dressed for fashion. I'm dressed for comfort. I've got a shirt that's 3 times too big, but it works for me. First thing I'm going to do is go to my computer, enter my health stats. It's important to stay healthy, especially at my age, and especially being a writer. It's so easy for us to just sit all day and work. But I'm going to be working out later today too. But the first thing I do, I'll enter those statistics. Then I'll check my email, and I'll catch up on the news. I just want all that stuff out of the way so my mind is clear, and I'm not distracted when I'm doing my work. And I do all that stuff on my little laptop in the house first. What in the world?
But it's another South Park.
So now I'm ready to get out to my writing cave, which is in my office just across the driveway. I've had a little breakfast, checked on the baseball scores and the news. Now, it used to be that I would start with the writing or the editing and nothing else, but I found I was a little distracted because of those things I'd rather do, make sure they're out of the way. You do what works for you, but for me, I need all the distractions taken care of, and now I'm ready to get to work. So I'm on my way out. Where you write and the kind of stuff you use is important. My writing space is nice these days. When I started out, I had a plank that I stretched between 2 kitchen chairs and put those in front of the couch in the living room. Sat on the couch, that was my office. It wasn't comfortable, it probably wasn't healthy for my back, but that's how you work. You use what you can afford. I'd urge you to invest in a good chair. You're going to be sitting in it for several hours. All your work's going to be done there, and so you need to be comfortable, you need to be healthy. I've got everything I need within arm's reach here. I've got a fan if it gets hot, I've got a heater when it gets cold, I've got my lighting, I've got all my research stacked. I know where everything is. Usually I'm a neatnik, but while I'm writing, this is what it's going to look like because it has to serve the purpose of the message. What I'm working on is what's important. I've got my cover that the publisher has already done a rough of, so that keeps me on track. I know what I'm doing. So now that everything's in place, I'm ready to do first things first. I will go back about 25 pages and do a heavy edit and rewrite. I call it ferocious self-edit. It's an aggressive self-edit. That's where the magic happens. Everything I did yesterday, those 10 or 20 pages, were simply the rough draft, getting the story down. Now I'm going to polish it, make it come together. This process takes longer for me than it used to because I've written a lot of books and I want each book to be better than the last. So I'm really working hard to polish and make it just the way I want it. Because of the technology, you can make something different all day. It's getting to the point where you know you've made it the best it can be, and you're not simply making it different, you're making it better. Once you've hit that point, you stop and move on to today's writing. So I've got a couple hours work to do to make yesterday's stuff work. That, in essence, is my second draft. And when I finish the entire manuscript, I'll go back through from page 1 all the way to the end for what, in essence, is a third draft, the last polish and rewrite. So I need to get to work. I'll see you in a couple hours. Now, normally when I make changes, I don't have tracking on, but to show you what I'm doing here, one of my major principles is that dialogue can almost always be cut to the bone. Oh, I see, forgive me, you fear it could be the remains of Mutum's child, I understand. I just feel I can tighten that, and I've turned on the tracking so you can see what I'm going to do here. I don't think he needs to repeat him, but he can go start with Shirley. And I don't think we need the I understand, even though that may be what would happen in real life. And see, again, here I can cut the dialogue more tightly. She can just say, true, master, one of the girls said. May we stay here until we're sure the birds have moved on. Okay, so I've finished the heavy edit and rewrite of everything I wrote yesterday. And now it's time to face the blank page. And that's always intimidating, even at this stage of this novel. I'm a pantser. I write by the seat of my pants. I'm not an outliner. But in one sense I am, because to avoid facing that blank page, I don't want to sit here waiting for inspiration. So I've left myself just a couple of lines. I tell where my character is, what happens next, and where I think I'm going in the chapter. Not really an outline, but it gives me something to go on. And I'm ready to hit the ground running. Okay, I've finished my writing for today. I'm at a pace of about 2,500 words a day now. That's pretty fast. There are a lot of people, even more successful than I, who write a lot fewer words per day than that. Speed is not the point. Quality is the point. If you write 500 words a day and they're at the quality you want, that's your goal. Now, to make your deadline, you want to take, even if it's self-imposed, divide the number of days you've given yourself to write by the number of pages or the number of words, and make sure you hit your quantity that day. Now, you may not be a morning person like I am. The writing I do before noon is the best writing I'll do all day. If you're a night person, make sure you've got no distractions and you've got your energy. Work when it's best for you to work. When I was a publisher years ago, I learned that only 1 in 100 writers literally make their deadlines. So I determined, if I just do that, I'm going to set myself apart from 99 other writers out of 100. So I make sure my deadlines are sacred. And now, depending on how I feel at this time of the day, I'll either go upstairs and work out or go in the house and have some lunch. And I'll put off the editing and rewriting until tomorrow, because the more space I give between the time I finish writing and the time I do my editing, the better for the project.